Thank you, Mr. President. The Honorable Malema.
Thank you very much, President. Just quickly to remind your members that in the VBS scandal, 99.8% of people implicated in that story are ANC members. So they must stop being chacharak and saying other things here. Now, President,
Order, members.
you were elected on a ticket of transparency. And you were elected on the ticket of anti-corruption as a man who's not scared to open up to society and the country and say these are the activities we're involved in. So now, why do you have a problem in disclosing the names of people who have made contribution to you? Even if you were doing that for political party purpose or contest in the party. You were the deputy president, you are the president, and you can't take leave from yourself. You can't say today I'm on leave. I'm not a state deputy president, I'm a party deputy president. At all material times, you are the leader of our country. And the sooner you come to the reality that not everybody is a president of South Africa, and stop comparing yourself with other candidates. We do not have interest on them, they've not won. You are the president, and you shall be held with high standards because you are the president. You must never be shocked when we don't ask similar questions to nobodies, because you are the #1 citizen who occupies the highest office, and therefore to compare yourself with nobodies, you are reducing not only yourself but the office you are occupying. But this one, the last one, you'll answer me outside. How many of my members did you give money?
The Honorable the President. Order, members. Order. Order.
Okay.
Mr. President.
Honorable Speaker, let me start off with the first question and say that yes, indeed, transparency is absolutely necessary, and I have no difficulty or problem with the issue of transparency. The act that my lawyers took in asking the court to seal some of those documents is because the documents that were then, particularly the bank statements that were then made available to the public protector, were of a number of accounts emanating from as early as 2014, when there was no, say, CR17 campaign. And what got to us was just the confidentiality of the information of a number of people. You know, bank accounts are very sort of sensitive type of documents, where all of us in our bank accounts, we transact with whoever and so forth, and that is quite private and all that. Now, they went as early as 2014, and during a period where there was no campaign, and that is what our lawyers felt needed, yes, to be sealed. Now, in the course of all that, it then encompasses everything. Now, we are going to do a review of all that, and I would like Honorable Malema to keep an eye on the issue of transparency. And of course, you're absolutely right. As President of the Republic, yes, I know I'll be held to a much higher standard. You're absolutely right. And I would say that, you know, you say I should not see myself as being equal to everybody. I am equal to everybody, but I am held to a much higher standard. And I accept that. Let us allow this period of evaluating this whole process through the courts, and thereafter I will be able to take a view and indeed see how best we handle this situation. Because indeed, I do want to uphold the principle of being transparent, of being straight and being honest, indeed, even on this very difficult matter. Now, you want to know how many members of your EFF we gave money to. Now, let me say, the EFF put me in a very embarrassing position because in the end, those members have now been shifted aside. Now, these two colleagues, and I see them as colleagues, by the way, they served in the NCOP, and they were my most vociferous opponents and critics in the NCOP. And when, as members of parliament, right across the board, when we discuss, there is a point where there is the question of humanity, where there is humanity, where we interact with each other beyond even party lines and see ourselves as human beings. When these two members had great difficulties which they needed to, which they articulated, we felt that help was needed and they were given help. The help was not connected to anything, as I have done with a number of other members as well. So it was out of a deep generosity, not on your side, admittedly. So that's what it is. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Honorable Maimani.
Madam Speaker, would the President just like to share with the House what his interest rate is?
That's not a point of order. Honorable Ndlozi, are you on a point of order?
Well, your non-transparency seems to be now toxic to the entire country because people receive money, they don't say who gave the money, even if Parliament says they must declare. So your non-disclosure, which you said you are about, is becoming toxic and is affecting
Honorable Ndlozi.
I don't think it's a joke.
Honorable Ndlozi. Honorable Ndlozi, that was not a point of order. The Honorable Maimani, you have the second supplementary.
Thank you. Mr. President, what we know so far, I mean, I hear members of the EFF have resigned, but we also know equally so that there were 4 members of this House who received money from CR17. Honorable Siweya, Njaveni, Mbalula, and Kodwa.
Please continue, your time is running.
No, I can't, Speaker. As you can hear, I can't.
Order, members. Order. Order. Honorable Minister Agaku Muntu Petayo in the House. No, Honorable member, that will not be allowed. Honorable Maimani, please proceed.
Maybe she's complaining because she didn't get paid.
No, Honorable Maimani,
sorry,
your time is...
No. What I want to know is that the President has a prerogative to appoint cabinet ministers. And that decision must pass the test of rationality. I'm not interested in some ways as to who donated. We now know who money went to. I want to know whether in his mind, when he was applying, choosing his cabinet, did the factors of people being paid come into account when he chose his cabinet? Or was it reward for the campaign that they led in CR17?
Mr. President.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Maimani, the answer is no. I don't operate like that. The issue of the amounts that were deposited into people's accounts had a variety of reasons. A number of them were active participants in the campaign, and they were meant to utilize the money for purely legitimate purposes of making sure that the campaign moves forward. And with all the colleagues that you refer to, there was no expectation whatsoever for any recognition, any return, and the decision to appoint members into the executive is a process that the leadership of the African National Congress gets involved in. It's a process that the President applies his mind to very carefully, and what people will have done in whatever campaign and role they have played has nothing whatsoever to do with the reason why they are appointed. People are appointed in terms of their own capability, their own merit, and no other reason. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Honorable Nkwankwa.
Thank you for watching, and make sure to subscribe to get the latest African lists, entertainment, pop culture and news. Remember to leave your suggestions on topics you'd like us to cover in the comments below.